Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. This is very much a watershed moment in the management of our marine environment. For too long, for too many generations indeed, what was out of sight in a large part of our marine environment is out of sight, was therefore out of mind, and that can no longer be the case with the new provisions in this bill. The bill, of course, has highlighted a whole range of very complex issues, very complex competing uses of the sea and the interaction between those uses, whether it's for industrial purposes, oil and gas exploration, shipping cargo, fishing, shellfish growing, or whether it's for leisure, kayaking or sailing or surfing or diving and the like. But also the sea is the home to many and varied species, our whales and our dolphins, and a huge bird population around the Scottish coastline, which is vital in European terms. But also beneath the waves, those reefs and corals and vegetation which the Cabinet Secretary has referred to in the past and again today. So it's hugely important. All these things competing interests there, and now right at the heart of this bill, there's a mechanism for trying to reconcile those competing interests through the regional partnerships and the regional plans and indeed the national plan. There's much still to do about boundaries of those organisations and the make-up of them in precise terms, and I look forward to the further consultation on that in due course. This is a good, if complex, piece of legislation, and I would urge the Cabinet Secretary to do a lot in the coming months to try and explain to all the stakeholders around our marine environment just what the bill does now require of them, because it is complex and a lot of people are going to have to learn a lot in that regard. One of the central provisions of the bill is the ability to create marine protected areas, and that is hugely important for research or for historic reasons or for conservation reasons. And science has to be at the heart of that, and research to back up that science needs to be given a prominent role in the new Marine Scotland activities. And I too welcome the letter of clarification that the Minister has given us to when he will use the new powers he's got in relation to socio-economic powers where appropriate, and I think that helps square the circle, if that's the right way of putting it, of the different things that were competing around that particular set of interests. In designating marine protected areas, I would make one plea that we try and take communities with us as far as possible, explain the purposes and the reasons, and particularly in the management of MPAs, to handle that in a very sensitive way with local people. I'm very pleased that the bill now also contains measures to help mitigate climate change where appropriate, and gives the Minister and future Ministers power to think about that and to balance those considerations when thinking about designations. On the question of seals, at the outset of this bill, it seemed that that could be a hugely contentious area for all of us and could in fact have been a showstopper in many ways for parts of the bill. And I do pay tribute to the process of Parliament and the lobbyists around Parliament and the way in which members can interact with them, because I think it's a good example in this bill of how we've reconciled potentially hugely contentious issues and come out with a much, much stronger position than perhaps we could have ever imagined in moving into the bill. There's a presumption against the shooting of seals, and that's right. It should be a last resort. If other methods have failed or are not workable, it is now a licensed activity, and the conditions of those licences are clear and set out and tough. And, for example, the harassment of seals would now be controlled as an offence as well. So much tighter control that should be welcome. Presiding Officer, this is a sound framework. The implementation will be vital. That's a big task, and I wish all those involved the best in doing that.